Hi there, welcome to In Brandon. Today I have Tracy and Grant from Career Connections. Thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect, so we're just going to talk about Career Connections and maybe tell me a little bit about the history of it.
So Career Connections is a supported employment / employment training center here in Brandon. We provide employment services to adults with barriers to employment. Career Connections has been around since about 1972. It used to be called ARM Industries. So back in the 70s, it was a sheltered workshop. And then it was early 90s that they transitioned from a sheltered workshop to employment-focused programming. So I've been with Career Connections since July of 2016. I previously ran Westman Employment Services, which was a supported employment. Career Connections was the employment training center. There was the executive director of Career Connections, Kevin Boyd, who's well known in this area, had unexpectedly passed away. So it was a good time to merge the services together to provide a one-stop shop for everybody in the Westman region, because we provide services not only in Brandon but also in surrounding communities. About to the U.S. border, maybe Verdun.
Okay, in the southern region?
Yeah, up to the park and maybe Carberry. Prior to that, I ran Westman Coalition for Employment Opportunities. So that evolved into Westman Employment Services, which I then merged with Career Connections. So now all of the services are under one roof. We provide basically all the assistance that's needed for somebody to obtain and maintain employment, whether they have ever had employment before or maybe. We have a varying clientele. We have people with intellectual disabilities, physical, mental health, cognitive. We have individuals that have never worked before. With the cognitive disabilities, for example, who've just come out of high school. So we work with individuals. We also have individuals that have postgraduate degrees, university education, maybe just had some difficulties personally, whatever the case is. So varying array of individuals that we support. We do everything from real pre-employment stuff, career decision-making, resume development, interview skills. We help with the job search. We can do the on-the-job training. We do follow-up to ensure once they're employed that they maintain the employment. If there's any issues with the employer and the employee, we can come in and work with the employer. We do a lot of education around diversifying your workforce. I've had employers just last week call me, having a bit of a rough time with one of their employees, not really sure about how to go about dealing with them, but really wanting to keep them on and make sure they're successful. So I sent in an employment counselor to work with them, and they met with the employer and the employee and gave them some tips on ways to maybe get that individual back on track.
Okay, perfect. It's really good that all these businesses are aware of Career Connections. Great. Now you also have a vocational assessments too, Grant. Do you mind telling me a little bit about that?
Okay, so with our vocational assessments, how it starts is Tracy would identify whether it's a referral source or a fee-for-service, regardless of how they come to us. We provide a customized assessment process. It can be anywhere up to 2 days. And what we do with that individual is we assess them on a one-to-one basis, either in-house or we can travel out to the community that Tracy mentioned earlier that we service. And we look at 3 areas. We look at where their skill sets are at, their interests, and then academics. And then again, based on what kind of assessment they want or require, we customize that assessment, whether it remains a 2-day or a 1-day modified assessment. And we go through physical work samples to test their skill sets. Again, some norm-based academics as far as testing. And then we do some interest surveys. A lot of the individuals that do the assessments, they tend to come in already recognizing they want to be employed, they're just not quite sure what they want to do. Okay. So just through the 2-day assessment, it gives us an idea of where their skill sets are, where their interests are, and then academically, like we mentioned earlier, they could be post-secondary ready or they might have to do some upgrading. So it gives us a really good chance to see where that individual is, sort of a snapshot of where they're at currently, and then depending on the results, some areas they might want to explore, or it gives us sort of a starting point for some employment exploration.
Okay, perfect. And this would really help you out when you're trying to help someone find their skills, what they're good at. Very beneficial.
Yeah, like Tracy mentioned earlier, we work a lot with students transitioning because for a variety of reasons, they may not have had employment before, or they're ready to be employed again, and it really identifies with exactly that, where their skill sets are.
Okay, perfect. Now, do you ever work with the employees beforehand just to be sure that they are a right fit for your clients?
With the employers.
Yeah, like just to be sure, like, okay, this person wants to work with us here, and we just want to make sure this person will be a right fit.
Oh, for sure. Like, we would never find somebody a job if it wasn't the right job for them. You know, some people might think that somebody might want to be a rocket scientist, but it doesn't mean they have the ability to be a rocket scientist. So, you know, we find out what they're good at, what their skills are, and we find them a job to fit those skills. And yeah, we don't just say, oh, okay, you can wash dishes. Yeah, that's not the way it works, right? This is real work for real pay, so.
That's great, and that's where the assessment tool comes in handy too, right?
And not everybody gets the assessment.
Okay.
You know, lots of times it's just meeting with them and getting to know them, and they have to be referred through a referral source for the vocational assessment. And our referrals come through places like SMD, Society for Manitobans with Disabilities, or CNIB, or Mental Health, or Marketabilities, Paraplegic Association, places like that. So.
Okay, now where are you currently located right now?
Our office is located at 710 3rd Street, so it's on the corner of 3rd and Van Horn.
Okay, and if someone wanted to get more information, where would be best?
They can go on our website. It's www.cciwestman.ca, and all our contact information's on there. They can send it through there. Our phone number is 204-728-9594.
Okay, and do you have any social media that people can follow? Or?
Yeah, we're on Facebook and Twitter. We have a fairly large following on Facebook, so I think it's just if they search Career Connections, they'll find it. Career Connections Brandon, I believe, is what it's under.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else you two would like to add?
Well, yeah, I would like to point out, just for the viewers, that I'm in the process of starting a new program. It's a brand new program, actually, so kind of targeting maybe some of the individuals coming out of high school, but it's an employment-focused day program, we'll say, but not a traditional day program. People will come to us probably a lot from high school, and some who don't fit the traditional programming that's available here in Brandon. And it is all going to be focused on employment. I have purchased a new assessment tool out of the States. It's a hands-on simulated assessment tool. So the goal is to bring them in, find out their skills and abilities, get them out in the community, maybe through a volunteer or work assessment, find them a job, and then bring somebody else through.
Okay.
Where a traditional day program, they sort of stay there forever. And
Okay, I see.
yeah, the goal is to become inclusive, and everybody deserves the opportunity to work in their community, and everybody's capable of that with the right supports.
Oh, perfect. All right. Thank you very much for coming on today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.